Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes with Marv. We've got presenter Alex Hammond with me now, and our 5 minute starts right now. So, Alex, tell me what fitness means to you.
Oh gosh, I mean, it's become part of my life. I guess it always has. Back in the day, I used to ride as an amateur in horse races. And that is, I think people would underestimate how fit jockeys have to be. But I just sort of tried to get myself fit in those days. And when you ride in races, it's such an aerobic exercise, and strength required is something else. And I was a long way off being anywhere good at it, but it does focus your mind for the fitness. And I guess you drift away from that a little bit, but over the last few years, it's become part of my routine. Every week, I try to be consistent. It's not always possible with the work schedule, but I train quite a lot.
So, do you think the foundation of that early time in training, especially for the horse riding, kind of prepped you in the fact that you need to be training consistently to maintain a certain type of fitness?
Well, I mean, that is on a whole different level. If you see what the jockeys do nowadays compared to what they did
Oh
back
yeah, I
in
can
the
imagine.
day, it's incredible. You know, they have nutrition advice, fitness advice, and they are, for me, so fit. They're true athletes. There's a jockey at the moment called Holly Doyle. She's 5 foot tall. And I just saw a video this morning of her deadlifting 160 kilos. I mean,
Wow.
pound for pound, she's got to be one of the strongest athletes out there, and she takes her fitness incredibly seriously. I would love to be able to achieve something like that, but of course it's not my job. It's just
Yeah.
something I enjoy. But yeah, I'm not always inspired to do it. You know, you sometimes have to remind yourself why you're doing it and how it makes you feel. And I guess that grounding helped, but it's just become part of my life as I've got older.
Well, you made a great point, actually, just to remind a lot of people that training like an athlete isn't your job. They get paid
Yeah.
for it. It's what they're supposed to do. But trying to have those personal bests is a great thing for yourself. But always remember, you might not get to that 160 level. It's okay not to,
Yes.
because they're fueled by a team of people like me helping them in the background. But another thing about your journey, and obviously you being into presenting for so many years now, being in the public eye, has that ever been something to where you've kind of looked at yourself and thought you needed to look a certain way, or if you've just kind of gone, you know what, I'm Alex, this is me?
I suppose there's a little bit of both. What I've really enjoyed most recently, obviously, social media is now a big thing, which it never was in the
Oh yeah.
early days and for the majority of my career, really. And to be fair, I've never had anybody say derogatory comments to me about the way I look. I think I've always kept myself reasonably in shape. I wouldn't be anywhere near as light as I used to be. But what I love now about social media is you can follow so many positive role models, and how being fit and healthy and just living that lifestyle is an inspiration, as opposed to maybe the role models you had 15 years ago. So this has been a huge, I guess, an inspiration to me. I love following the fitness accounts on Instagram, yours included,
Oh, thank
and
you.
just, getting tips, because I'm probably like the majority of people. I'm trying to train myself. I do work with a PT once a week, and he helps me. But essentially, you're doing it yourself. You don't have to be a certain way for the job that you do. I think everybody has I suppose, a fitness level that they feel great at themselves. And you don't necessarily need other people to tell you that. I think you know yourself.
No, definitely. And just like you said, that accountability to where you have a PT once a week, but at the same time, you utilize those social media platforms for what they're meant for. Like I say to people, my fitness account isn't actually for me. It's for me to give something to you, to inspire you to be motivated to do something. That is the primary job of what my job existence is. And just like yourself, when you're giving your job and presenting and letting people know about the racing and things like that, you're doing it for the people. So we're in the know. So it's a selfless way of looking at things, but you're utilizing it to its best. Now, what I do need to know as well from you is, when you are working out, like, what's your favorite type of workout? Because it must vary it, because from strength to conditioning to aerobic, what's your favorite?
Well, I used to do a lot of running. I did a pathetically slow London marathon several years
Ethically
ago.
slow. At least you've
And
done
then
one.
I've done one. And then I guess I went through the wilderness for a couple of years, and just I walk a lot, and the odd bit of running. And then I suppose 2.5 years ago, when I started back with a trainer, we work a lot with kettlebells. And I have to say, I love working with kettlebells. It's something that really inspires me. You have to be completely in the moment.
Yeah.
You can't be distracted about all the other things that's going on in your life and in the world. You have to focus on that bell, because if you don't, you might smack yourself in the face.
Exactly.
And also, you know, what's great about it is you have to work your left side as hard as the right. And I guess I like the kettlebells. I have that interspersed with body weight HIIT workouts and stretching and mobility. That's become a big part of my life. And for somebody who was always a little bit rigid, I never could touch my toes. I can now touch my toes. I'm a long way off being able to do anything, you know, really thrillingly exciting, but that's a big win for me. And so I guess to answer your question, HIIT, kettlebells, that would be what motivates me.
Awesome. And also as well, let me just pause this a sec. Alexa off. and and also as well, looking into it, last but not least, what is your go-to workout song?
Now, that's a very good question, because I actually don't work out to any music. Can you believe it?
I can believe it. I've heard some crazy things on here, what people have said. So you like to be submersed into your workout and be 100% focused?
Totally focused. And I love music. I love going to gigs when we're allowed to go to gigs. I listen to music all the time. I'm an indie chick. I love my indie bands. So that would be my absolute favorite, although I do have quite an eclectic music taste. But I don't listen to anything. I mean, often I'm working out on obviously Skype now with my PT. So I'm listening to him. And then I have an app on my iPad that he puts workouts on. So I'm following along his videos. So again, I guess I'm listening to him, but I don't really need that for motivation. If I'm running, I might listen to a bit of a shuffle on my music, you know, but generally indie tunes.
Yeah, no, that is a great, and I'll make sure that obviously then I'll put that in there, because I like to make a compilation soundtrack for anybody that gives me it. But no sound, that's good sound, I guess. But honestly, thank you so much for joining me on the 5 Minutes of Marv podcast. We love that you inspire all of us, and keep on doing what you're doing. And thank you for all of the time you've given us today.
Thanks, Marvin. Cheers.
Are you sure about that 5 minutes?